I think it's time that Chelmswood Junction had a 00 gauge layout back. Roll the intros. Hello and welcome back to Chelmswood Junction. I'm Peter. As the title suggests, the Chelmswood Junction channel is going to be getting a 00 gauge layout back. Now, I am not buying this one, I'm building it. It's going to be a modular design, probably not for exhibitions, but you never know, it may go on an exhibition one day. You never know what's around the corner. So, how am I going to build this, and what are we going to use, and what's it going to look like? So I'm going to spin the camera around and show you the materials, the tools that I'm going to be using to help build the new 00 gauge layout for Chelmswood Junction. So the materials that I'm going to be using are a big piece of 8x4 cut down into 4 sections. This is 8mm ply. It was 8 foot long by 8 feet long by 4 feet wide, and I've had these cut down into 4 foot by 2 foot sections. You're also going to be needing bracing bars, so this would go around the edges along there, down along the lengths, and also one in the middle to go along there as a brace. This, I believe, is, just double check it for you guys, this piece of wood is just under 3 inches in length. Width wise, it's about 3/4, and it's very, very good wood that I use. I use this all the time, and it comes in lengths, I think, of about 6 feet, and you can cut them down to size. Also, what you're going to need is, I'm just going to quickly pause the camera, and obviously you're going to need some tools. So straight away, no railway should be built without a decent set of set squares. A nice long ruler. This one is a 45cm ruler, so it's obviously bigger than a normal standard 30cm 12-inch ruler. Nice box of screws, a selection of screwdrivers, pencil for doing your marking out. Never use pen. With pencils you can always rub your marks out and mark it up again. As they say, measure twice, cut once. I've learnt my lesson through that. We're also going to need a set of drills, and because I'm old school, this drill is about 36 years old. I bought this from my dad 36 years ago when I was 4. It's an old Black & Decker, and as you can see, it's getting a bit old, getting a bit rusty, but it still works perfectly. And yes, you need a chuck key for it. I do have 2 drills. I have one for the drilling, so the Black & Decker will do the drilling, and I have again another chuck key drill, and this one is actually made from the old Woolworths, and I use this one primarily for screwing in the screws, because it has a adjustable speed there, and obviously a reverse mode as well if you need it. Also, what I'm going to be using is, like I said, a good set of drills. But I have this set that I found on Amazon, and as you drill the hole, I've got these in different sizes. I won't be using this size, because obviously it's way too big. But as you can see at the end, it's got a countersink part at the bottom, and these do come in very handy. And you can adjust the length of the countersink, so you can have it closer to the edge of the tip, or you can have it as far back as you want it. It's adjustable by a little Allen key screw there, and there's an Allen key with the pack that you get from Amazon. I think you get about a pack of 6, I believe, or maybe even, I think maybe even 8. But if you look on Amazon, you can find these. I think they're about £10. Like I said, they come in a pack of about 6, maybe 7. So that's the tools you're going to need. And I forgot to mention that the one tool that you are going to need, if you're like me, no good at cutting wood in a straight line, is a nice little mitre saw. This one's a McAllister one. I've got it from B&Q for about 70 quid, and it's a little good piece of little kit. So you can just literally put it in the right way, bring it down when it's turned on, and away you go. You can also do it as at an angle to help you do corners. So it's a nice piece of kit to have handy. So after about an hour or so, I have managed to knock up this nice little baseboard. Also, what you can do with these end pieces is, obviously, because it's going to be a modular layout, I will have to drill holes into this part here, so I can put some locating nuts and bolts on that one so it connects to the next one. This one, obviously, you can drill holes in this one so you can run wires through from one side to the other. And then obviously you're going to need a way of getting wires from this side to this side, and that can be done with electrical products that I will buy and show you at a later date. But so far, that is how far I've got with the railway. It's probably will have eventually a brace bar along there or along there, but at the moment it's pretty rigid, pretty sturdy, and I'm quite happy with it. So once you've built your baseboard, you're going to want to start track laying. That's all very well and good. So what you got to do is, I'm learning from my past mistakes. My old Chelmswood Junction, I just pinned the track to the woods, and obviously when I ballasted it, it was very, very noisy. I'd have to shout to speak to somebody just at the door, with 4 trains running, maybe 5 if I was doing some shunting in the depot area, or I had a loco movement in the dead end part of the old station. As you guys will know, the way I had my railway, it got kind of noisy, and it also drowned out the noise of my sound locos. So what I'm doing this time is I'm using 3mm cork. I bought a load of this from Hobbycraft. You get them in little rolls, I think of about a metre long, by about, I think about 30 centimetres long. Comes in a pack, like I said, a roll of a metre length, and it's about £5 for a roll. And I've got myself a couple of rolls, and I had some old cork lying around from my old N-gauge layout that I had, that I was building underneath the old Chelmswood Junction, as you guys will know. So I thought, well, while I've got this, I might as well use it. What else are you going to need? I will show you. So you're going to need some track, and I've got a box of 25 of the Peco SL100 code 100 HO00 track, and these I think are about 900 millimeters long. Don't quote me on that, but they're like a yard in length. Also, what you're going to need is you're going to need some points. So I've got the Peco SL95 insole frog right hand point. There are mediums, got some of them, and I've also got the Peco SL96 insole frog medium left hand points. You're going to need some tools obviously as well, so let me just spin the camera around, guys. So obviously you're going to need some tools for this. Now what I do is I use the old track pin method. So you're going to need a trusty little pin hammer. I use the Peco track setter for the straights. I also use the Peco 6-foot way gauges so I can get the width of the tracks at a reasonable distance. So that would be your streamline track, and the other two, the longer ones, would be for your set track. So that'd be like your train set kind of track, like your radius 3, radius 4 curves, your little short or the double straights, and the little points. All the things you can get in the set track range, that would be the gauge to do that railway. But obviously we're trying to do a finer railway, and we use the one that is more nearer to each other. Also, what I use to cut the track is a trusty Dremel with a cutting disc. And when you use one of these guys, make sure you're wearing eye protection, because these do break at times, and if they fly up and hit you in the eye, now bearing in mind I've only got one because I was born blind in my right eye, so I've only got my left eye left. So make sure you wear these guys, because if one of these bits hits you in the eye at high speed, you're going to lose your eyesight. Also, make sure you've got a pack of spare discs, so that comes in very handy. Also, for guiding the pins through the track, I use a pin vice drill and a set of pin vices. Pin vice drills, obviously. And I've got a nice box there with fish plates, plastic ones for if you're using electrofrog. I've obviously got the normal metal ones, and I've got in there also a marker pen. If I want to cut a piece of track down, I can mark it where I want to cut it, and that makes life a bit easier. And also, once you've finished laying your track and you're happy, you've tested it and it runs perfectly, and you don't want the pins being raised, what I do is I just get one of these bolts, put it on top of the pin, a couple of taps of the hammer, and it puts the pin right into your track. Obviously, be careful with these guys, because you don't want the pin to go through the track and make a dent in your track, because obviously if you want it to look nice, you've got to be careful. Also, carry spare sandy blade bits. This comes in handy for cutting out the cork once you've laid the track, and you can cut around the cork to make your shoulder for your ballast. What else have I got in here? Oh yeah, I've also got this very fine nibbed pen, and what this comes in handy for is, once you have laid your points, the hole that your point motors goes through, I put the pen inside there and then wiggle it about to and fro, and it marks the point of where I need to cut the hole for the point motors. So that's the tools and the bits and pieces that I'm going to be using to start laying the track on my new railway. So after about an hour or a couple of hours of work thinking of what I was going to do, I've made a start laying a bit of track on the new board. I know it doesn't look much at the moment, I've only got the one board made up at the moment, but I've started to lay track down, and as you can see, I'm putting it onto a cork bed, so that will help reduce the noise of the train straight away. Obviously you've got gaps in between your points. That's not a problem, because what I will do is eventually I will come around with spare pieces of sleepers that have not been used, and file the chairs off, and then they can slide underneath there, and that would also be an area where I'd probably solder me wires for my droppers on. This is going to be a DCC layout, because I want to start running my sound locos. So far I've worked out that over there is going to be my old diesel fueling tanks. This line here is going to be, say, like where a loco brings in like some tankers to offload the diesel into the tanks. This is just going to be a piece of track where a train can come out of, because over this way and on the next board will be some fueling points, so the trains can come down here, go onto that bit. If there's a train blocking their way going that way, they can traverse the tracks and go that way. And obviously this little bit here can be used as a little siding. So that is as far as I've got with actually track laying at the moment, guys. Like I said, I've only started this today, and as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, so it's going to take me a while, but I will get there, and I will take you through all the stages that I do for building my railway. So as I was saying, guys, the way I like to try and cut the holes for my point motors is, as you can see, I've laid this point here, and what I do is just get the pen, stick it in the hole, and at different angles just wiggle it to and fro. Hopefully, once I remove this pin, he said with bated breath, hopefully when I remove this, you can then see the black mark that's been left behind for me to drill. I'm not going to bore you guys, you've probably seen people drill holes millions of times, so I'm going to stop the video here and I will come back to you in a little while. So as you can see, the hole has now been made. Now with just drilling straight through, you only got, you know, 1 point, so it only goes so far. So what I generally do is, I've got a nice set of files, and what I do is put the file in the hole, and then I just make the hole a little bit bigger, like so, and finish it off just to try and straighten it up a bit, make it a bit squarer. So I'm now going to bring you in a bit closer, guys. So you can now see a nice clear size hole for the point motor to go through and activate the points. Also, one other thing, when you are laying points, let me just zoom you out a little bit, guys. Zoom you back out a bit. If you're using standard peco solenoids or seat point motors, obviously all these points come with a spring set in underneath. So with, you know, like the peco point motors, which are solenoids, and again the seat point motors again, which are solenoids, you don't need to remove the spring. But if you're using, say, like tortoise point motors or DCC Concepts Cobalt IP point motors, which are slow action, what you got to do is, before you lay this, is just inside there will be a little spring just in there, and what I do is I take that spring out, and then that way the point is free flowing. So that's a good little tip, guys, before you finish laying your points. Once you've done your hole, make sure, if you're using slow action point motors, to take that spring out, or else when you do throw the points, the wire might not be strong enough to throw the point completely over to the one side. If it does, then you're still going to get the click that you would get with, say, like a solenoid point motor. So that's a good little tip there for you guys. So I'm going to bring this video to a close now, guys. So you've seen the start of my new 00 gauge layout. It is going to be a depot area. It's not going to be a massive one. It's going to probably be about 2, maybe 4 roads engine shed with a 2 roads fueling point, access for fuel tankers to unload. As far as I've got with that's as far as I've got with the planning side of the railway, because I'm not too sure of how long this is going to be and obviously I'm constricted to the sides of the kitchen or the sides of the front room at the moment, because I still can't get in my loft. This probably may go up in the loft eventually. Again, that's future plans. But for the time being, it's going to be a little portable layout that I can use either in the kitchen, out the way of the wife, or in the front room, again, out the way of the wife. As you can see, I'm in the kitchen tonight because it's easier to clean up sawdust and things like that with a hoover than what it would be to clean it up off of carpet. And at the moment, my missus is chilling out in the front room watching TV. Can't blame her. She's been out today, spent some time with her sister. She's come back, we've had dinner, now she wants a bit of chill out time. So I'm going to bring this video to a close, guys. Don't want to keep waffling on. Just want to say a big sorry to you all. Apparently I keep saying a couple of words. I think one was obviously and okay, guys, quite a few times in the videos. I am me. I won't change me. I don't do editing on my videos. Please don't be offended the way I'm going to say this. It's just the way I am. I do get nervous, even though I'm talking to myself to a phone. I know you guys are watching it out there in YouTube land or on Facebook, but I do get nervous. I am a nervous person, and I do have a few problems. I have got anxiety, and I do suffer from depression. So, you know, doing videos, building model railways helps with my moods. And I do apologise if I keep repeating myself like I am now, waffling on. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, please smash that like button on the left-hand side. If you are a subscriber, great big thumbs up. Thank you for staying with me. If you want to become a subscriber, then all you have to do is click that button on the right-hand side, and you can follow me as I take this 00 gauge model railway to bigger heights. And also you will see the developments of my new N gauge layout as well. So you've got two layouts there as well on the go. Plus I'm a member of the Warley Club, so I might be doing a few videos from the Warley Club if I'm doing a running session down there. And obviously, as I've got a few plans this year of some road trips which are railway orientated, so you're going to get, you know, the real railway and preserved railways as well, because I'm looking at going to the Severn Valley Railway again this year for the spring steam up in April, because it is close to my birthday, and I am dropping subtle hints to the missus that that's what I would like to do for my birthday. But you never know. If you want to carry on watching videos from my channel, guys, there should be a link coming up here and here. Until the next time, stay safe, protect your loved ones, but above all, happy modelling, and bye-bye from Chelmswood Junction.